So, you thought 1999 was all about Y2K and the world ending because of a computer glitch? Nope. India had bigger problems, like we just gave terrorists a free pass kind of problems. Alright, picture this. It's December 24th, 1999, Christmas Eve. People are getting ready to celebrate. But on flight IC814 from Kathmandu to Delhi, Christmas is about to get super weird. 5 guys with guns stand up, announce that they're hijacking the plane, and boom, your holiday plans cancelled. And where do they take the plane? Disneyland? No, they take it to Kandhar, Afghanistan. Yeah, Kandahar. You know, the lovely tourist spot where instead of roller coasters, you get the Taliban. Yup, the hijackers took the passengers straight into Taliban territory, and that's when things really started going off the rails. Now, most of us know the basic plot. Plane gets hijacked. It hops around like a budget airline trying to find a runway. Lahore, Dubai, and finally, Kandahar. But here's what people don't talk about. This wasn't just a hijacking. It was a grand, chaotic mess that exposed some real cracks in India's system. So sit back, because I'm about to tell you all the stuff you didn't know. Spoiler alert, it's worse than you think. First off, the hijackers weren't just looking for attention or a free vacation. Oh no, these guys had demands. They wanted India to release 3 high-profile terrorists from prison. One of them was Maulana Masood Azhar. Never heard of him? Well, lucky you. But if you've heard of terrorism, duh, who hasn't? You probably know this guy's work. He went on to start Jaish-e-Mohammed, a terrorist group that's caused more damage than a clumsy waiter at a fancy dinner party. But wait, it gets better. India's government, led by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, was in a tough spot. Do you negotiate with terrorists or stand your ground? Easy choice, right? Except, not really. The Indian public wanted those 176 passengers safe, and let's be honest, the pressure was like cooking on high heat. So, they caved. They gave in. The government released the 3 terrorists, and boom, just like that, the good guys lost the first round. But hey, 176 people were saved, so no harm done, right? Wrong. Turns out freeing these terrorists was like giving supervillains their own keys to the world. Maulana Masood Azhar went on to become the poster child for terrorism, plotting attacks left, right, and center. Remember the 2019 Pulwama attack, where 40 Indian soldiers lost their lives? That's him, all thanks to the IC814 hijacking. Let that sink in. India handed over a future terrorist mastermind just to get out of a really tight jam. Now here's where things get really frustrating. Why did India have to release terrorists in the first place? Well, because they weren't exactly prepared for this. There was no anti-terrorism plan, no military response ready, and, surprise, no backup. It's like getting stuck on a road trip with a flat tire, no spare, and no phone signal. By the time the plane reached Kandahar, it was basically game over. The Taliban had their control, and India was caught with its hands tied. But let's pause for a second. You ever wonder why the hijackers picked Kandahar? It wasn't because of the food. No, it was because they knew the Taliban wouldn't play nice with India, and they were right. The Taliban acted like the world's worst customer service. Oh, you've got a problem? Well, we can't help you. Good luck. And international help? Forget it. It was Christmas time, people were busy with eggnog, and world leaders were too cozy to get involved. The US? They were too busy ignoring the early signs of terrorism like a person ignoring laundry piling up. Europe? Silent. The Middle East? Watching from the sidelines like it's a reality show. And here's where things start to spiral, because this whole hijacking wasn't just an isolated mess. It was like planting a bomb that went off years later. Terrorists around the world watched this incident like it was a how-to tutorial on breaking governments. The message was clear: hijack a plane, take some hostages, make demands, and you'll probably get what you want. Terrorists started using this as their go-to strategy, and guess what? It worked. So yeah, this wasn't just about the 176 passengers on board IC814. This was about how terrorism found a new, easy playbook. Let's be honest here, India made a decision under pressure. The lives of innocent people were on the line, and it's hard to argue against saving them. But what did India get in return? Well, a lot more terrorism, that's for sure. You release one Maulana Masood Azhar, and 10 years later you're dealing with more bombings, more bloodshed, and more chaos. It's like releasing one mosquito and then getting eaten alive by the whole swarm. But wait, there's more. Fast forward to 2001, just a few months after the hijacking, terrorists attacked the Indian parliament. Yep, while India was still licking its wounds from Kandhar, terrorists were already taking notes and planning their next move. It's like losing a game and then giving your opponent the playbook for your next match. So, what's the moral of the story? India learned the hard way that giving in to terrorists doesn't solve problems, it creates new ones. Sure, the passengers were saved, but at what cost? Global terrorism was emboldened, and the world is still dealing with the fallout. And that, my friends, is how a hijacking on Christmas Eve turned into a disaster that we're still paying for. No one got a happy ending here, except maybe the terrorists. And hey, if you want to know the real side of things in a light, funny way, hit that subscribe button and join our channel.